kayak anglers, we got a good one for you today. We're going to talk about Fish Finder settings for Garmin UHD units. They're super popular among kayakers. A lot of people have them. I put some pictures up on Facebook of my down imaging, and some people were asking about settings, so I'm going to make a video just on the settings for the Garmin UHDs and 93 SVs. You know, the same ones that were being sold for like 600 bucks online. So, I mean, tons of kayakers have this, and a lot of people aren't getting the full amount out of it. So I'm here to help you guys try to get more out of your fish finders. Let's dive in. Okay, here we go, guys. We're talking about the Garmin UHD 93 SV with the GT54 transducer. This is my unit that I have. I run the frequencies on mine on the lower side of the frequencies, on the 840 side. Some people who fish deeper will put it on the higher frequencies, and the reason that is the higher frequency has a narrower cone that shoots out of it to pick up the fish on, and it shoots deeper. It's higher power and it's a narrower cone, so you can get a lot more penetration into deeper water and a better picture in deeper water. I personally fish about 30 feet and less most of the times, so I like the lower frequencies. I feel like that gives me a little bit better picture, as far as it gives me a little bit wider cone, so I can pick up more target species such as bass. I have my range set on auto, so it just automatically adjusts for the depth. I find that the Garmin's work really well on auto for that. So now we'll go to brightness. Brightness, I keep that on 100%. I just find that the picture diminishes if you scale that down. You don't get as good a picture out farther with your deeper imaging. So like at 30 to 50 feet, even at 20 feet, I feel like having it set on 100% brightness is the best way to go. I dial down the contrast versus my brightness. I pretty much keep the brightness at 100% all the time. I have my zoom set on magnify, and what that allows you to do is it allows you to magnify on a little piece of structure out there. And here's a little clip of that. This is your magnify, guys, so you can zoom in on stuff. Okay, and now we're going to go to Sonar setup over here on your units. So depth line is like a quick reference for the bottom. I just turn that off. I can tell what the bottom is on my screen plenty fine. I don't need any more lines on my screen other than what I have it set up for. Some other people may like that, and if you do hit that feature, it's a good feature. These are really just a good starting point for you. On-screen control, I have that set for brightness, so I can adjust the brightness on my screen, so I can do it really quick. And you know, I'll change that throughout the day even. You know, whether I'm deep or shallow, muddy or stained, that's all I'm gonna adjust that just a few degrees on that at all times. Scroll speed has to do with how fast the image is scrolling left to right on your screen. Basically how fast the image is getting relayed to you, how many times it's basically taking a snapshot and then sending it up to the unit and giving it to you to read. I have mine set on 3 because it's very much speed related, very much miles per hour. Garmin does a good job with their auto. Like, you can set this to auto. I prefer to have mine set on 3. I like to have control of that. Not everybody does, but I do. Color schemes, that's your preference again. I prefer copper, but that's completely up to you. And now we're going to go to the advanced settings. Now these can be a little tricky for a lot of people. I have my interference set on low, which helps mitigate neighborly sources of noise. So that can be another fish finder, that can be clutter in the water, that can also be maybe you don't have your fish finder set up perfect, as in you don't have your transducer level or something like that. That can, if you have it just off just a little bit where it's canted or something, it can really mess up the image. And people will hit the interference and crank that up. If you find like you have to crank your interference up like on medium or high, you might want to look at your transducer and see how that's installed. Make sure it's level. TVG I have set on low, and again, this is another noise reduction, and this kind of has a little bit more to do with the mid water depths and deeper, or consistent throughout the water column. And I just have mine set on low because I really don't fish much below 30 feet, and when I have that cranked up, I feel like I'm losing a little bit of image quality in the shallower depths of under 30 feet. And I have my surface noise, I have it showing that because honestly I don't have a lot of surface noise, and sometimes those are small bait fish that I'm trying to pick up on, so I have that turned on. Guys, here are some pictures I got for you to show you what you can attain through some of these settings. Here's some giant stumps with some fish on them that I took down at Pickwick. And you can see the fish related to the stumps. Here's another one thanks to Sean Boggs. You can see fish and crappie in the trees and rocks all around them in an old quarry. Here's another one from that same quarry in a different perspective of a crane. And here's some more remnants of buildings and big giant rock slabs. Guys, I hope that helped you out with this. I hope that gives you some inspiration to go check out your settings on your Garmin and get it dialed in, so you can have more success in the water. I will see you guys all out on the water.